ABC, it's Brendan. This is my contest entry for Tales from the Crates 100 subs contest. Congrats on the subs, Andrew. I think you might actually be closer to 200 at this point. I haven't double checked, but it's well deserved. You have a great channel, and I love every single video you make. So this contest is the soundtrack to my life through records. Obviously, I haven't been into records my entire life because, when I was a kid, tapes and CDs were the thing, and as I was really getting into music, MP3s were the thing. So I didn't really get into records hardcore until I would say probably like 2013, 2012, 2013. But I had had a few before then, and I was given a record player as a gift. But that's besides the point. This is just kind of supposed to be music through my life as it relates to me, specific memories and instances in my life that I can relate to specific music. So I'll start out with something kind of obvious for me anyway, is New Order. This is the Bizarre Love Triangle single, and definitely the single version is my preferred version of this song. But anyways, I was definitely raised kind of on New Order, a little bit of Depeche Mode and Pet Shop Boys and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing my parents really like. And for some reason, the song Bizarre Love Triangle, I really have no idea why, but the song Bizarre Love Triangle reminds me of my parents. Not like lyrically in any way, that would be kind of weird, but hearing that song instantly just reminds me of them, and just kind of growing up and listening to all that kind of music. And it's good, you know. Kind of similar to that is Daft Punk's second album, Discovery. We started listening to this album pretty much, right when it came out. I think this came out 2001. Yeah, 2001. So we were probably listening to it all through that year in 2002. I was still pretty little, but I have pretty early memories of going on like a road trip, and we had the CD in the car, and we listened to it a lot. The song specifically from this one, Veritas Quo, towards the latter half of the album, kind of evokes that feeling of sitting in the car, kind of it's evening or nighttime, and sitting there kind of quietly listening to the music, kind of bored, but at least I have that music there to keep me entertained. It's nice. Fast forwarding several years, probably like ninth grade, I think. I had this dog for several years. Probably got it in, I don't know, 5th or 6th grade. And it died in ninth grade. So, didn't have it that long. It had kind of some health problems. Anyway, its name was Coco, and when it died, I was really into my Beatles phase. So, the song All Things Must Pass from George Harrison's first solo album really kind of resonated with me as I was kind of dealing with that loss. I had never, as a kid, never had anything that I loved die. That's kind of a dark thought, honestly, but it's meant to be. It's definitely a more optimistic song than just straight up being about death and loss. It's just kind of coming to terms with, like, yes, all things die, and that's okay. There's still happiness to be found in life, and you don't have to necessarily stay in the darkness all the time. This is the kind of angsty thing that was going on in like 14-year-old me's head. Speaking of angst, fast forward to after high school, right after graduation, that kind of awkward summer in between graduation and whenever everybody starts college. It was 4th of July, and I was supposed to meet up with like a bunch of friends to kind of just go watch fireworks, hang out, have some fun. And plans kind of fell through. Friends couldn't make it for whatever reason, and so I was just kind of stuck in my car driving around listening to this album on CD, because I was kind of just starting to make my way into jazz at the time, and I had found this CD for $1. the song All Blues, which is kind of a somber, mostly piano-based song. Uh, am I confusing that with Blue and Green? I think I'm confusing it with Blue and Green. I think it's I think it closes out the first side of the album on Wax anyway. That's the one that has muted trumpet from Miles, and the Bill Evans piano part's really great. I can't think of any of the other solos from the song. Anyway, it's not really supposed to be a super technical song. It's more of just kind of a somber, beautiful moment on the album, with nice chords. It kind of evokes this feeling, at least for me, of kind of loneliness or disappointment, which I think kind of summed up how I was feeling a lot of the time at that point in my life. And not that I still feel that every time I listen to it now, but you know, sometimes those emotions do come up. Every time I hear that song, I'm, at least for a second, sometimes brought back to that day of it's kind of disappointment and feeling like I was getting left behind or something like that, which obviously I don't feel like that now. I'm kind of actually pretty happy with where I am in life. Not that I don't ever want to move forward with anything, but it's not like I should be depressed about where I am in life. Anyways, this album is called Home Like No Place Is There by this band called the Hotelier. I pulled this album specifically because I got super into it. Again, it was 2014. I think it was winter of that year, so definitely after graduation. I had this friend who we both liked, the same kind of music. This is like emo revival, or like indie alternative, something like that. Emo is definitely the best, broadest term to paint this into. But I had this friend. We both liked music like this. They were in Dallas that year. We went to go see them. It was fun. There were some other bands there we liked. I think Roswell Kid was also there. The World Is a Beautiful Place. Good tour, good show. I do have a memory of why I don't hang out with this particular person anymore. I think the thing was I had, I was gonna buy his ticket. It wasn't a big deal. It was like a $8 ticket or something. So I just kind of handed him, I think it was like, a $20 bill, which in hindsight I probably shouldn't have just let him keep it. But I was like, here, just go get your ticket, I think I may have had mine pre-purchased or something. That's why I handed him cash and he went off on his own. And then I felt kind of weird about like immediately being, right after he bought it, like, okay, give me the cash back immediately. So, after the show, he still got the cash in his pocket. He was good at like making friends and stuff like that. So he was talking to this girl who I had no idea it was, and there was like a convenience store down the street. They both ran down there for a minute, and he bought a pack of cigarettes with like the change left over from his ticket. And it wasn't like a lot of money, I didn't like make him pay me back or anything like that, but it was just kind of shitty, like, come on. You didn't ask me about it. You clearly tried to apologize for it after the fact. He was like, yeah, sorry, I just had to go get some cigarettes. And I didn't smoke at the time. I still don't. And I definitely didn't drink at the time or anything like that. So it wasn't even like I wanted any cigarettes or anything. I was just kind of like, come on, dude. That's not cool. That's actually stealing. And, obviously you shouldn't hang out with people that steal from you so openly. So I don't. Moving on again. This is Bowie's Station to Station. And the song specifically, Station to Station, there's a line right in the middle of it that kind of resonated with me. Kind of talking about, the whole song is kind of about this feeling of like a runaway train of this was kind of like the height of his cocaine use, the Thin White Duke period. And he was on this kind of runaway train of drug abuse and his failing marriage and this feeling of like his personas were kind of taking control of him as a person, and he was losing like identity and things like that. And so he has this line right in the middle of this song that's like a moment of clarity or like light through the rain clouds or something. That's once there were mountains on mountains, once there were songbirds to soar with, and once I can never be down. And that had always really resonated with me. And then after he died, um, I had the other part of like the very next line also started to resonate with me, which I think is got to keep searching and searching. And oh, what will I be believing? And who will connect me with love? Wonderful, wonderful, wonder when. And again, that's not that I felt like I was on any kind of runaway train or anything like that, but the more of that turnaround point of kind of realizing that there is a problem with your own unhappiness and trying to actually do something about it, not necessarily trying to find a person to like fix you or anything, but just kind of making any kind of effort to kind of help yourself in any kind of way was definitely something that I needed to hear at the time, so I can thank him for that. Probably the most impactful lyric of his, at least to me, um, as it has related to me. Anyways, Andrew, I know you showed this record, but I gotta talk about it too, and even the same exact song that you did. This is Big Star's first album, #1 record. I was just getting into Big Star, last year. I had got this CD. It's actually right up here. I'm trying to grab it here. I got this CD from Half Price Books for $1. It's, their first 2 albums, just kind of crammed on the one disc. It was pretty cool. But I had to pick up the record also as a normal reissue. But the song 13, which you had already talked about, I feel like a lot of people, they hear that song, and it is such, just a beautiful, simple love song, kind of, like you said, about young love, or like 13-year-old kids like falling in love. And I had thought that was a beautiful song when I heard it, and then that's when I met my current girlfriend Abby, who is probably the best person I've ever met. And so I hear that song, and it always just makes me think of her. And we always throw it on playlists that we listen to together, and it's kind of one of our special songs, like you said. For you and your wife, it's kind of your song. I'm not trying to steal your song or anything, but I'm just saying I thought that was kind of an amazing coincidence that we both relate to this song in terms of our love lives, which obviously the song is about love, and it's a very good song from a very great album. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. So another kind of twist on that is the entire album in Rainbows by Radiohead. The entire thing, well, recently, probably around 2014, Radiohead kind of started becoming one of my favorite bands, if not the favorite band of mine. And the album in Rainbows is kind of this album of him, of Tom York, the singer and main songwriter. Kind of a lot of these songs were earlier songs, like the song Nude is him trying to, I think he called them like songs of seduction, which I don't know if I would go that far, but trying to start a new romance and the feeling of new love, new attraction, and those kinds of feelings again kind of resonate with my girlfriend Abby and I. I don't know how she feels about this album and Radiohead in general. There are definitely some more depressing or self-deprecating moments on this album, but the moments of love are pretty poignant. So I think this album is turning 10 years old this year. I had only recently, like 2 or 3 years ago, gotten into it. So going forward, it'll be interesting to see how the album relates to me and my girlfriend. But anyways, yeah, that's the other kind of point to this whole contest. That's the last one, by the way. the other kind of point to this whole thing is, for me at least, you know, I'm still young. I don't necessarily have too many large moments in my life that I feel stand out so prominently. But you know, what is there has been good, and going forward, uh, there will be lots of moments to kind of what's the word? Just kind of make for myself, and music will always kind of be there for me at least to kind of help relate to and emotionally kind of support me all the way. And that's part of why I love music so much. And anyways, I think this is a great contest, Andrew. I'm excited to watch other people's entries. I haven't done so yet, but hope you liked it, and thanks again. See ya.